Hey guys, it's Aubrey with Muttley Plans. I decided that we are going to take today's video and thank you, Velcro. She just shook her head. But we're gonna play in my reading journal today. I'm actually 2 books behind. I have read 2 books. You'll be shocked to find out. My husband's gotten me started on A Court of what is it? A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I think it's considered the ACOTAR series. Anyway, I tried to start A Court of Thorns and Roses before, like a couple years ago, maybe 2021 time frame, and I couldn't make it past the sisters and how the family treated the main character and stuff like that. But then my husband read it and he was like, no, listen, there's so much more. So I decided to give it another try, and I was pleasantly surprised, not gonna lie. So I'll get into that more so later on when I'm writing my review of it. But right now, this vellum that I am tearing up, it's like I love it. I wish I'd have gotten more. I got it from Michael's. No, that's a lie. I got it from Joann's at their going out of business sale. And it's just this wonderful map vellum that's like gold foiled. And I was like, yes, this goes with this book. Full disclosure, my reading journal is not always going to reflect the book, but I definitely wanted, like, I don't know, I just felt like this went, and I had it, and so I did it. And I'm not sad about it. Not sad about it at all. I love how this vellum looks torn. And then I decided that I was going to go into this little booklet that my mom got me off of Amazon for Christmas. And it's just a bunch of washi stickers. And I love it. I've used quite a few of the stickers. And I was like, you know what? These mushrooms, they kind of, I don't know, make me think of fairies. Maybe I was thinking back into my Thumbelina era. I'm not sure. Anyway, but for some reason, the mushrooms made me think of fairies, which is, of course, what this book is about. It's about a human girl that winds up having to go stay at a fairy court. And there's so much more to it, so if you haven't read it, you should give the book a little bit of grace. The first, like, third to half of the first book, and you won't be sorry if you make it past that. But you do have to make it past that before you can, in my opinion, thoroughly enjoy the book. I will say I feel like the beginning, now that I'm on the 3rd book of this series, I feel like the beginning of the first book is needed in order to set up the entire rest of the series. Like, you would be lost in the sauce if you're like, okay, first half is boring, let me just go ahead and randomly start in the other half. It won't work. You'll be so lost. But yeah, definitely worth a read as long as you are of the age where spice is not an issue for you. Because there is, actually, I think there's only one spicy scene in this book. Maybe. It wasn't bad, but it was in detail, not gonna lie. So just be prepared for that. It's definitely not one of those, like, I guess it would be rated smut books. It's not, there's not a whole lot of spice throughout. There is tension building, though, and I'm all for that. I'm all about the tension. So it is a very good book. It does have adult aspects. But overall, really good. Anyway, so for this book, I did enjoy it, but I went ahead and I gave it 3.5 stars. And the reason I gave it 3.5 stars is because honestly, the beginning is just so slow in building, and like you're trying to figure out some of the plots as the author is laying like the groundwork to spring in to the main like meat of the book, if that makes sense. But once that happens, this book takes off, and it's like you can't put it down. So it was very good. For the spice, I did give it a 3, mainly because I was not seeing those scenes every other chapter or every other page. Like, this book is not about that, and I appreciate that, personally. That's just my level. And actually, I gave it a 4. Most likely I gave it a 4. Actually, I'm pretty confident I gave it a 4 because the one scene that is in it is kind of explicit. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's why the spice rating's a 4. And then again, that 3.5 I gave it because it's just a slow world building. The first like half of it. So, and there I was just looking back at my previous layout to see, because I really liked how that went. And then now I'm kind of fumbling around. I decided I wanted more deco. So I went back in there and grabbed more deco. I was really enjoying, I hadn't been able to really use mushrooms a whole lot. I just didn't feel like it was the right time for them. And so I loved being able to use these mushrooms. I don't know about y'all, but I definitely think of like fall time frame, I guess, when I'm thinking of mushrooms. And so that's why I haven't really used them yet this year. But this, I was all for it. So got that. And in that bottom left hand, I am going to do a quote from the book, which that'll be the last thing I add. The pen that I am using for this journaling session is my Esterbrook Estie in Botanical Garden. Love it. I can put any color I want and it looks fabulous. This ink that I am writing with is one of my favorites, but I won't buy a bottle. It is Noodler's Cayenne, and mainly I won't buy a bottle of this because it is a very slow dryer, so you have to be very careful to not smudge it, even after you've put blotting paper down sometimes. So that's why I am looking for alternatives. Some of y'all were nice enough to tell me about a few alternatives. I've actually got them in my cart. I just have not clicked the buy button yet. I'm gonna wait on next month because I am a financially responsible adult, or at least I try to be. My husband just laughed at me. Anyway, so yeah, this book, like I've been saying, the first half, so slow. I did try to read it a couple years ago. I got really bogged down in how the heroine's family treats her at the beginning. I thought that I just didn't like it. It aggravated me to no end. And so that's actually why I put it down. Not necessarily the slowness the first time I was reading it, but just how the family was treating her. Yeah, I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan. But once she got out of the house, once she went to the court, it definitely got a lot better. Especially when she started mingling with the different fairies and you learn different parts of the world. There is a big mystery and stuff like that she winds up being an integral part of, and winds up having to basically save the Fae world with. And so it was really great. I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't read it, so I'm not gonna like go too in depth, but basically she winds up in this trial, and yeah, it is a very good book, especially towards the end. I felt like it was a very original story. So I know when it comes to like mythical creatures, books about them anyway, where it's fae or if there's dragons or anything like that, they tend to be very tropey and almost like the same story in a different order, and I did not feel like that with this book, and so I really appreciated that. The lead male in this book, Tamlin, I liked him quite a bit. He was definitely very, very safe feeling in this book, I think. I mean, obviously, I have more thoughts about him now that I'm passed into the third book, so you'll have to wait for my. I'll do another one of these where I review the second book, but yeah, Tamlin was pretty decent in this book, and yeah, I liked that, you know, there was a little bit of grace and stuff between the heroine and the male character, but also at the same time there was just a lot of learning about the land in general. So yeah, and this is where I'm writing about the trials. So when I'm writing about these books, I don't really write a whole lot about like the ending or the plot per se, just because if I did that, I would take up way more than 2 pages, which would be fine, but I don't really want to. I like how this little blip is. I mean, obviously, I don't know if I'm ever going to have children or not, but I fully intend for somebody someday to find all of my journals, good, bad, and ugly, and hopefully they have a fantastic time reading them. That's my goal in life. Anyway, and so maybe if somebody picks this up in the future or something, maybe they'll actually want to read this book series if they haven't. If not, that's fine too, because I enjoy making these spreads and everything. I honestly, not to pat myself too much on the back, but I really like the way this one is, and I like being able to flip back in it and stuff. So, and it gives me a way to use my pins. But yeah, like I said, once this book really gets going in the last half of it, it is like not like any other book that I have read in this genre. Granted, I am more new to this genre. I read a lot of Christian fiction for the past, I don't know, my entire life. You know, or the young adult fantasies and stuff like that. And so I am newer to this type of reading, but at least for me, this was very unlike any other books in this genre that I've read, and I appreciated it. The characters were well developed. I felt like the heroine, she grew a lot. She came into her own a little bit. She got more confident. She was able to explore herself and her hobbies. And I loved that. And it was all because of the environment that she was in. You know, it promoted growth, which I love that. I love hearing that about a lead in any book, movie, anything like that. And I also love when a male character promotes growth. I think in a relationship, that's what you need, not to get too preachy or anything, but I love when books, you know, take on that type of relationship for a couple in the book. So definitely appreciated it. It was a 3.5, but like I said, that had more to do with the beginning being very slow. So it is what it is. Yeah, definitely pick it up, try it if you want. Now I'm just kind of perusing. So I did cheat. I listened to this on audio book. So I Googled different quotes for this book to find the one that I liked the most. And yeah, this is the quote that I chose. It is, and let me actually pull this out. Yeah, it is. I am broken and healing, but every piece of my heart belongs to you. And that was the heroine, Farah. So that was something that she wrote. And I thought that was so true about everybody. You know, everybody has seasons in life. And I thought this was just so wonderful. It's a great quote and one you could definitely live by. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully I wasn't too chatty. But yeah, let me know. Have you read this book? What did you think about it? And just let me know down in the comments. Maybe give me a like, maybe follow me. Whatever you feel like doing. I hope you have a good Sunday. Bye.